Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, JZ Courtside, coming at y'all today on St. Patty's Day, apparently, Tuesday, March 17th. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their day. Welcome back and good morning. I hope your NBA team won last night. I hope you guys had a good dinner. I hope everybody slept well. I hope everybody's having a great start to their Tuesday morning. Good to see everybody. Good to have y'all. We got a fun episode prepared for y'all today. As you guys know, yesterday we talked about some NBA games over the weekend, some trending storylines while I was gone, and we also ended the episode ranking the Eastern Conference team on a pyramid, something that my favorite podcasters, No Dunks, did, and I thought, why don't I do it as well? So in today's episode, we are going to be talking about some games from last night that honestly were pretty good. Some storylines that you guys should be aware of. And we are also going to be doing the same thing we did yesterday with the Eastern Conference, but today we'll be doing the Western Conference. So guys, be sure to stick around. If your team's a Western Conference team, we're going to talk about y'all, unless you're the Pelicans or Kings or the Jazz or any of the butt cheeks teams at the bottom of the conference. My apologies to all of those fans. We will be talking about the top 10 teams and ranking them on a pyramid for the West, just like we did yesterday with the East. I hope that excites you guys. I hope everybody's having a great start to their day, and I hope it gets even better. All right. Oh, apparently the TikTok stream is muted. So thank you to the members in the TikTok stream for letting me know that stream was muted, but now it appears that we're all good. So shout out to the TikTok stream for that. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTokers, be sure to drop a like, follow. YouTube, be sure to drop a like, subscribe. And Twitch chat, you guys got the easiest job in the entire world. Hang out, kick your feet up, grab a cup of coffee, energy drink, and enjoy the show. Now, I'd like to just go over this very quickly again. Be sure to stick to the end of this episode because we will be ranking the Western Conference teams on a pyramid. You don't want to miss it. Let's start first with the Los Angeles Lakers continuing their hot streak and defeating the Houston Rockets last night, 100-92. Now, it's so funny because yesterday I started the show with the caption, "Are the Lakers back?" And I kept the same one today, and I just added an extra sentence at the end. What's wrong with the Rockets? Well, I'm going to answer both those questions. Now, first question, are the Lakers back? And I said no yesterday. I talked about it, and I came to the conclusion saying no. Here's what I will say. The Lakers last night played a horrible game. The Rockets last night played an even worse game. I don't know if you guys watched this one, but if you didn't, let me sort of summarize it for everybody in here. Kevin Durant touches the ball, the Lakers double. Kevin Durant turns it over. Kevin Durant has the ball, the Lakers double. Kevin Durant passes, they lose the ball. They double team Kevin Durant again. Kevin Durant passes the ball, somebody misses a wide open shot. Kevin Durant has the ball, he gets doubled, steps out of bounds. Kevin Durant has the ball, gets doubled, passes to somebody for a dunk, they miss it. That's what happened last night. Kevin Durant had 7 turnovers last night. In fact, the entire Houston Rockets team had twice the turnovers the Los Angeles Lakers did. They had 24 turnovers. You're not going to win a basketball game with 24 turnovers when your opposing team only has 12. That was arguably the worst half of any modern day basketball game I've seen, probably in the last 20 years. I'm not exaggerating. The Houston Rockets scored 23 points in the third quarter and 12 points in the fourth quarter. That totals out to be 35 points in the second half. Kevin Durant is in his 17th or 18th year? Whatever it may be. And the fact that he's not able to maneuver out of a double team is weird. It's weird. After the game, Kevin Durant said that maybe I should just be a role player. Maybe I should just sit in the corner. Maybe I shouldn't have the ball in my hands so much. But here's the thing, and I've talked about it all year long. Without a playmaker, without a ball handler, Kevin Durant is forced to be the primary ball handler when Kevin Durant's not a primary ball handler. catches the ball at the high post, the elbow, or maybe the wing at the 3-point line. He couldn't even approach the 3-point line because he's getting doubled the moment he crosses half court. He even got an 8-second violation where he didn't cross the half court line in 8 seconds. So when I say what's wrong with the Rockets, it's nothing we haven't seen before. It's nothing we haven't seen this season. The Houston Rockets mortgaged their entire future in Dillon Brooks, who's, not young, Jalen Green, who's not good. He's only good in March, and whoever the hell else for Kevin Durant. The Kevin Durant save me offense can only get you so far, and that's why we're going to be talking about the Western Conference at the end of this episode when we're ranking the Western Conference on a pyramid. And I think you guys should be here because it's very, very important. Now, as far as the Rockets go, they're an elite rebounding team. They killed them on the glass last night. They still lost. They killed them on the offensive and defensive glass. Okay? They had 21 assists. That's more assists than the Lakers. The issue is 24 turnovers to 12 turnovers. You are not going to win a game. You're not going to win a game doing that. You're not. And, I've talked about it time and time again, but not having a ball handler. And you know what? I felt victim to the crowd of, why are they not playing Reed Sheppard? They should play Reed Sheppard. Why does Ime hate Reed Sheppard? Is he racist? Does he hate small guys? Why are they not playing Reed Sheppard? I know, I mean, it's pretty obvious night and day that Reed Sheppard is sort of scared of clutch time. He can't guard a traffic cone. He does not play defense. So I understand why he doesn't want to play Reed. His defense is not good. Like, it's really not good. And not having Fred VanVleet, and I don't think he's going to come back this year, it perplexes me, ladies and gentlemen. It perplexes me why they didn't trade for Kobe White. Hell, why they didn't trade for James Harden. Why? It took you 2 second-round picks for Kobe White. James Harden took Darius Garland. I don't understand why they didn't go and get another ball handler. I don't get it. And, I can read you these stats. I can go over all of these stats. I can do all of this, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, what I watched at the end of this game, Amen Thompson, 4 turnovers. Kevin Durant, 7 turnovers. Jabari Smith Jr. actually had an average game. And I got to shout out Tari Eason, and not in a good way. Did you guys know Tari Eason? I remember this. I was talking about this in the summer. The Houston Rockets offered Tari Eason a $100 million contract. I got to repeat myself. The Houston Rockets offered Tari Eason a $100 million contract because he's a restricted free agent. They couldn't come to terms and he denied it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tari Eason has missed his last 24 three-pointers. His last 24 three-pointers. I got to repeat that. He has missed his last 24. His last three-pointer he made was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 games. He has not made a 3 since March 5th in the second half against the Golden State Warriors. Guys, that is not good. And now he's still up for contract. Now, I have a question. Is Tari Eason just bad? Or is Ime Udoka's game plan bad? Or is it just not having a playmaker? Is that bad? I don't know, man. But anytime you miss 25 threes in a row, that is not good. And as far as I guess how many attempts he puts up a game, that is a valid question. Solo in the Twitch chat. So let me go ahead and look. He is averaging 4.5 a game. The fact that you are averaging 4.5 a game and you haven't made a 3 in 6.5 games, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good whatsoever. That's not good. They should have went for Kobe White. They should have went for James Harden. It's not good, man. That's not good. Now, I've talked enough about the Rockets. Let me go ahead and talk about the Lakers after this win. The Lakers are very interesting to me because yesterday I had the conversation about, are they back? And I'll be honest with everybody. Watching Luka Doncic right now as he's going through custody, they're 6-0. Since it was released that he was going through the custody battles with his wife back home. And here's what I'm going to talk about. The Lakers got lucky that the Rockets just played worse than them last night because the Lakers did not have a good game. The Lakers did not have a good game. The Rockets just had a worse game. So am I going to boast this win up like every other national media? No, I'm not. My thing is, JJ Redick continues to impress me. He continues to impress me. He really is an above average coach, and I think he can get even better. Austin Reeves was 0 for 8 from 3. 0 for 8 from 3. LeBron's playing like Aaron Gordon, but he had a good game. Marcus Smart, 3 for 7 from 3. Luka Doncic, 14 for 27, 4 for 12 from 3. Check out this bench production. 6 points from Rui Hachimura and 7 points from Jake LaRavia. That's it. That's it. That's it. You're trying to tell, no Laker fan can come in here and tell me that the Lakers had a good game yesterday. The Lakers did not have a good game at all. The Rockets just played worse than the Lakers. That's it. The Lakers had a bad game. They won. The Rockets had a worse game than the Lakers. The score was 100-92. Nobody can watch this game and tell me that this was a good basketball game. It wasn't. From either team. That fourth quarter was arguably the worst basketball I've watched all season. And I'm a Pistons fan. I have watched 5 minutes. I have watched 8.5 minutes of my team not being able to score. 8.5 minutes. And yet this was the ugliest game I've watched this year. Both teams played like ass, but the Lakers got the win. Are the Lakers back? I guess you're going to have to stick around and wait until I rank my Western Conference teams later in today's episode. TikTok said, not going to lie, you are on crazy meat. I don't know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. I don't speak that sort of language. What I'm assuming is that means I'm riding their cocks. That's what I assume that means. I don't know who I'm glazing in this sense. That he said that I'm on crazy meat. I don't know whose meat I'm on when I said this game was ass. This game was horrible. Both the Lakers played really bad and the Rockets played really bad. This game was not good. This game was not good at all. The Lakers had a horrible game. The Rockets had an even more horrible game. So if I'm getting told that I'm on meat, how the hell does that make sense? I'm not riding either of these teams. They both played poorly. This was a bad game. And with that being said, we will be ranking both of these teams in the Western Conference later in today's episode, because if we're going to be talking about all the top 10 Western Conference teams today, the top 10 Western Conference teams today, and we're going to rank them on a pyramid. So be sure to stick around, ladies and gentlemen. TikTok said, you going so hard off one game, cuh. This is my job, cuh. This is my job. I got to talk about the games from last night. So let's go ahead and talk about some more games last night. The Boston Celtics survived, as well as the San Antonio Spurs. They both survived last night. I was like switching between both of these games. Listen, this game, the Phoenix Suns versus the Boston Celtics, I got to be honest, everybody. These are my two least favorite teams as far as watching. It's bad, man. It's bad. I got a lot of notes from this game that I took. 83s combined between the two of these teams. 83s combined. I can't stand watching the Phoenix Suns just jack up 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. And guess what the Boston Celtics do? They attempted the most threes in NBA history. The Boston Celtics also attempted 43s. That's 83s combined. Grayson Allen, when he played against my Pistons earlier in the season, he attempted 23s. Can you guys let that sink in for a second? Grayson Allen, not Reggie Miller, not Ray Allen, not Steph Curry, not Klay Thompson. I'm talking Grayson Allen. This team, both of their systems are just throw up as much shit as you can. And that's it. I do enjoy watching the Suns defensively. They're fun. They're like just all over the place. The reason why they lead the league in, well, they're top 3 in the league in steals. They're fun defensively. They're very fun. They just jump at you and they're relentless. Listen, I got to talk about what everybody's talking about. All right. Jaylen Brown, 21 free throws. Listen, everybody's going to be talking about this today, so I may as well talk about it as well. 21 free throws. Now, Celtics fans will tell you he was actually getting fouled. And, well, he was. What Jaylen Brown was doing last night, though, was exaggerating contact, and that's something that he's been doing all season long. So I don't want to hear it from any Celtics fans, and we have a lot of Celtics fans in the crowd. I don't want to hear it saying that Jaylen Brown finally got calls, and yes, he was getting fouled. And yes, this is the most free throws he's ever gotten in his entire career. But at the same time, let's not pretend that Jaylen Brown, every time he doesn't drive to the rim, doesn't scream, "Hey! Hey! Hey!" Every single time Jaylen Brown drives to the rim, he screams, he flails. That's what Jaylen Brown does. He got the calls last night. Good for Jaylen Brown. He was very, very happy about it. It's just funny that he was happy that he got the free throws, but when Shai on the other side was getting free throws, he was angry. Why was he angry? Why? So it's cool when you do it, but when Shai does it, it's a problem. Listen, man, Jaylen Brown's an elite level talent. In fact, I'm a big fan of his. But you can't complain about free throws being called when you are literally trying actively to get free throws called every single time. And this isn't a Jaylen Brown thing. This is not a Jaylen Brown thing. This is Jaylen Brown. This is Jalen Brunson. This is Luka Doncic. This is Nikola Jokic. This is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's a problem in the league. So I'm not going to fault Jaylen Brown for doing it. I'm not going to fault him. Now, what I will ask of Jaylen Brown is, hey, JB, can you teach Cade how to foul bait, please? I can't continue watching Cade suffer getting 2 free throws a night. I can't. So can you teach my sweet Prince Cade Cunningham on how to draw fouls? Teach him, please. I will never talk about free throws again if you can get Cade to do it as well. Please. Please. This was a really good game, and this is what I love seeing about Jason Tatum. He's not even 50%. He's not even 50%. And he's dropping 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I really like what I'm seeing, and I think come playoff time, Jason Tatum can get up to like 75%. Genuinely. I'm excited to see what the Boston Celtics do for the remainder of the season. I'm excited to see what they do in the playoffs. I think Jason Tatum can get to a solid 75% come playoff time, and I think it should be fun. I think it should be really, really fun. Derek White had a great game as well. He also had 21, and Peyton Pritchard poured in 19 off the bench, as he does, as he always does. Yeah, I think on the other side, Devin Booker also dropped 40, right? Yep, Devin Booker had 40 points. Jalen Green is participating towards his Mickey Mouse March. I would like to just tell everybody, I don't want to hear any Jaylen Brown news. Nobody tell me about Jaylen Brown for the rest of the season, please, because this is the time in his season where he starts playing well, okay? So I don't want anybody to come in and tell me, guys, look at what Jaylen Brown, Jay-Z, do you see what Jaylen Brown's, sorry, Jalen Green, I keep saying Jaylen Brown. I don't care what Jalen Green does for the remainder of this year. He is a Mickey Mouse March player, and that's what he's done every single year in his career. You can genuinely look at his statistics over the last 5 years, and in every March, his averages all skyrocket. He's a Mickey Mouse March player, and that's just what it is. He's my top candidate for Mickey Mouse March. So shout out Jalen Green for hooping in March, but don't come to me and talk about Jalen Green. He was 1 for 7 from deep last night, but 8 for 20 from the field. That was his worst game of March. He's been quite literally dropping almost 30 points every game this March, and just don't tell me about it. And then on the other side, the Spurs also hang on and get their 50th win this season. 50th, y'all. That's their 5-0 win of the season. This is the first time the San Antonio Spurs have won 50 games in a season since the 2016-2017 season. I mean, come on, bro. Come on. They shot 10 for 36 from 3, which is typically their average, by the way. This is their average, and I expect them to shoot exactly like this come playoff time. Those 15 to 23s a nights that they were having, you're not going to get that from Devin Vassell and Julian Champagnie like that every night. The Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard. The Spurs were up by 29. Wemby exited the game, but he returned. He came back and he was fine. Wemby had 21 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks, 9 for 20 from the field, and 2 for 9 from deep. If you're forcing Wemby to shoot threes, you're winning the game. Like, you are winning that battle. Unfortunately, the Clippers fell down by, I think, 29 points earlier in the game. 24. Yeah, man, if you force Wemby to shoot threes, you have a very high chance at winning the game. Genuinely. Devin Vassell had 20, De'Aaron Fox had 18, Stephen Castle had 23. And overall, I don't think it was that good of a Spurs game, man. I don't. But the Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard, and the only reason they were in this game was because of Jordan Miller off the bench and Darius Garland pouring in some points. Not great efficiency, but Jordan Miller came in and dropped 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 for 13 from the field. I know a lot of people are saying, who? In regards to Jordan Miller, but yeah, man, he's been hooping. Him and Kobe Sanders have been really hooping for the Clippers, so I'm very, very happy for those guys. The Spurs hold on. And yeah, like I said, we'll be ranking all of these teams in a little bit later into this podcast. But yeah, man, the Spurs got it done. Spurs killed them in almost every single category, and that's what happens. That's what happens. I really like what I'm seeing from both of these teams. They're playing well at a very high level, like late into the season. That's great to see. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, YouTube, if you guys are enjoying the stream, we are live on Twitch. Be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience. Much better. Join the community. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio, guys. We'd love to have you come through. Yeah, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will personally gift you a $5 sub. So I hope to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks with 10 W's in its name. Let's talk about them ending the 7-game win streak for the Orlando Magic and continuing their win streak for 10. This is the longest winning streak for the Atlanta Hawks in over 10 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I got to talk about the Hawks first. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, every time I see this man play, my heart gets ill because the Pistons tried to get him and they didn't. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is my pick for most improved player of the year. And honestly, it's not even about his skill jumping. It's just opportunity. And with this opportunity, he's been balling out all season long. I've been paying close attention to Nickeil Alexander-Walker like all season. Nickeil Alexander-Walker last night in 37 minutes had 41 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers, and he shot 12 for 21 from the field and 9 for 14 from 3. NAW has been hooping all season, and I absolutely love to see it. Jalen Johnson poured in a triple-double as well, 24 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 assists, shooting efficiently, 10 for 19 from the field. And they got contribution from everybody else. They were up by 29 points than the Orlando Magic. And the Orlando Magic, you know we got to talk about it. I think it's just one of those games, to be honest. I don't think Magic fans should get too hung up on this kind of game. Tristan Da Silva, bad game, 2 for 8. Paolo Banchero looked like PB no J last night, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. He was a minus 16 on the court. He shot 3 for 13 from the field. Thank God for those free throws. Thank God for those free throws. Genuinely, it's like in all of Paolo's horrible games, like games where he should drop 5 points because of how bad he was, he gets blessed by the refs and gets these free throws. 16 free throw attempts. Made it look like not a bad game if you just look at the box score without looking at percentages. Wendell Carter had a good game, 17 points, but he was still a minus 17 on the court. Desmond Bane didn't have a great game either, 18.7 for 16. And then off the bench, Javon Carter and Jet Howard both poured in 10 and 13 points. Listen, man, they were down by 29. They brought that lead down to 12. And Mosley was just continuing to run with the guys that brought them back in the game. So I can't really fault him for that. Like, if your starters didn't show up, then there's really no point in just bringing everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't see any point in doing that. So Hawks got it done. They have won 10 straight. Orlando's win streak comes to an end. If you're wondering where the Atlanta Hawks now rank in the standings, see, that's where it gets quite interesting. The Hawks have won 10 games in a row, and they are only the 8th seed. Now, that's disappointing, to say the least. They're only a game and a half out of the top 6. But, yeah, winning 10 games in a row and not moving a whole lot is just unfortunate. They're tied for the 8th seed with the 76ers. And the Hornets are just falling more and more behind right now. So they got to catch up at some point. I don't know if they will. The Hawks are looking really good right now, man. They're looking really good. Another note that I took is that the Hawks had 33 assists. You're not going to lose many games if you get 33 assists. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I've seen a team lose when they get 33 assists. So the Hawks did their things, man. The Hawks did their thing. I'm very, very happy for them. Hopefully they can climb in the stands if they can keep getting it done. And by the way, that was their first win against a playoff team in this win streak. That was their first win. And I'm so serious when I say that. They beat the Nets, the Wizards again, the Trailblazers, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Mavericks, the Nets, the Bucks, and then the Magic. That is their first playoff team they have beat in their 10-game winning streak. Just a little piece of, just a little tidbit for y'all. That's not to discredit them because they have been hooping. They have been hooping. But that's just, you got to add that. You got to add that. That's a very important piece of information. I'd like to remind everybody to be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. It's a much, much, much better experience if you come to the Twitch stream. All right. Link in my bio. If you come to 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription. Guys, the main part of the show is happening right now, y'all. The main part of the show. It is time. It is time. The Hawks, sorry, I see people are asking. Yes, the 76ers did not have Embiid, and they suck when they're not Embiid, when they don't have Embiid. They really suck when they don't have Embiid. That's just the facts. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Talking about our top 10 teams in the West. Now, I'd like to remind everybody, I'm going to be ranking them in a pyramid. Okay. I've already illustrated the pyramid earlier today. Okay. I'm blocking my screen so the TikTok doesn't get spoiled by it. But up first in tier 4, all right. My tier 4 worst team of the top 10 is the Portland Trailblazers. I don't think this should be a surprise to anybody. The Portland Trailblazers are just lucky that everybody behind them is tanking. They are the 10th best team in the West, or the 5th worst team in the West, however you guys want to do this. Now, I know people might be thinking the Warriors deserve to be the 10th. If the Warriors get Curry, I don't think so. If the Warriors get Curry back, no. With Curry, they're a much better team than them. So let's go ahead and talk about the Portland Trailblazers real quick. I'm not going to linger too long on them, but the Portland Trailblazers are 33-36. They have not been playing good basketball lately. In fact, they really fell off. They don't do anything spectacular at all. Denny Avdia, he's definitely a candidate for most improved, but unfortunately he's not going to win it because there's a lot. I mean, honestly, he might win it. Knowing the NBA and the politics that go behind it, he might win it. He might. I've really liked what I've seen from Donovan Clingan this year. He has shown me improvement. I just wish that 3-point percentage climbed up a little bit. He's under 33% right now. Listen, they got great veteran presence with Drew Holiday, and I think that could help them if they were to make the playoffs. But unfortunately, I just don't think they're going to make it out of the play-in. So I really don't have much to say about the Portland Trailblazers. They have been injured throughout the year. I wish I had more. We don't have a single Trailblazers fan in my Twitch stream. We don't have a single one. We don't have a single Blazers fan in my Twitch stream. So I'd love to hear more from Blazers enthusiasts to teach me about this team. If you guys hear your team today, because they're going to be the top 10 teams in the West, come to the Twitch stream because I genuinely want to know more about the Blazers and any other team that's in the top 10. All right, guys, let's move on to my next team. Up next, we have the Golden State Warriors in tier 4. Now, the Golden State Warriors being in tier 4, they are just a level up ahead of the Portland Trailblazers. And I'd like to just point out, this team is bad. They're bad. They're very, very bad. They don't have Steph Curry. They don't have, their season ended with Jimmy Butler going out. And that's really all I can say on them. When Jimmy Butler got injured and they didn't make that trade for Giannis, their season was over. That was the declaration that their season was over. Can the Warriors still hoop? Yeah, absolutely. But they just don't have it. Not without Curry. I would like to give a special shout out to Tingus Pingus last night against the Wizards revenge game. Tingus Pingus went ahead and dropped 30 points off the bench. His first 30-point game as a Warrior. I believe this is only his second or third game as a Warrior. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, man, the Warriors are just not a good team. They're just not a good team. And without Steph Curry, yeah, they're the second worst team that are in the playoff play-in picture right now. Unfortunately, their season ended when Jimmy Butler went down, and it really sucks because they really started clicking. I believe they won 12 out of their last 13 games before Jimmy Butler got hurt, so that really sucks. That really, really sucks. Before we move on to our next game, I'd like to give a special shout out to the homie named Ancient. Ancient, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, my boy. I appreciate that a lot. If you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row and join our Discord, I will gift you a $5 subscription. So shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, 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 very much. Guys, let's move on to my next team in tier 4, y'all. My next team in tier 4 is the Phoenix Suns. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit more. And Suns fans, if you're out there, I don't want you to get upset with me. The Phoenix Suns have surpassed all expectations. They've surpassed all expectations. They were expected to win 30 games this season. They're at 39 right now. That is awesome. Suns fans, this is great. Now, I could say some really outlandish shit to make Suns fans depressed. You know what? I'm going to say it, but don't get sad. Don't get sad. The Suns are one of maybe 2 teams that don't have a future. They don't have a future at all. That hurts. Like they don't have a plan is what I mean. They don't have a plan moving forward. They brought Devin Booker back for 2 more years, but what else? They don't have a plan. This is just a mishmash of a bunch of decent players. I don't see anything coming from this team. Dylan Brooks is 30. He's 30. Devin Booker, I don't believe is the number 1 guy. I think Devin Booker at best can be a 1B, which is why D-Book, come back to Michigan, my boy. Go back to Michigan. I'm saying come back like I'm in Michigan. Go back to Michigan. You're from Grand Rapids. Go to Detroit. It's 2 hours east of Grand Rapids. I don't think Devin Booker can be a 1. I don't think he can. If he wants to win, I don't think he can. What is this sound I'm hearing outside of my house? It's like do. I don't know what's going on out there. Regardless, I don't think he can be a number 1 option. I think he can be a 1B, and I think that would probably suit him best. They just don't have any plan. The Phoenix Suns don't have a plan. They got D-Book. They got a couple old guys. They got a couple young guys. They don't have a plan. But Suns fans, I would like to just say, stay up because you guys had a great year, man. You guys had a great year, and I think that's what matters. I think that's what matters most. So shout out to the Phoenix Suns. This year, you might be able to make the playoffs. Maybe. I don't know. I would like to give 2 special shout outs before we move on to our final team in the tier 4. Shout out to Jose and shout out to Teddy Bear. Thank you guys so much for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you gentlemen so much. You too, be sure to do the same as well. Come to the Twitch stream. Guys, if you join the Discord and come to 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription. So let us know in the chat what team you support. Be sure to join the Discord, !Discord in the Twitch chat, and come on by to the Twitch stream. We'd love to have you guys. Like I said, you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row. It's a much better viewing experience. I will gift you a $5 subscription. Guys, let's move on to our final team in tier 4. Our final team in tier 4, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, is the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I got the Clippers above all of these teams. I don't know what this sound is outside, but it's very concerning. It's very concerning. I don't know what the hell's going on. I want to look out of my blinds, but I am recording my podcast, and it has to wait. It has to wait. The Los Angeles Clippers are my best team from tier 4. I think this makes sense to everybody. Kawhi Leonard is playing the best basketball I've ever seen Kawhi Leonard play offensively. He's been absolutely spectacular. Benedict Mathurin's going crazy as well. I honestly want this team to make the playoffs so bad just to see what they could do because they can wreak havoc. They could wreak havoc, y'all. I'm excited to see this team work in the playoffs. I hope you guys can't hear this sound that's going on outside. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, I genuinely think if they play against the Spurs, that's my dream. Now, I don't think they can beat the Spurs. I don't think anybody would pick the Spurs to lose against the Clippers. I worded that wrong. I don't think anybody would pick the Clippers and beating the Spurs, but I would love to see that. I would love to see Kawhi Leonard getting booed in San Antonio. I'd love to see that matchup. I feel like Kawhi Leonard, I just want to see him in one more like real playoff stint of just being that dog, being him. I just want to see it. So I got the Clippers being the best team in tier 4. That just means that they're the best worst team as far as the play-in teams go. Now, they started 6-21, bro. They're 34-34. That's incredible. That's incredible. They started 6-21, and now to be where they're at now, even after trading James Harden, even after trading their starting center Zubats, even after their new two-way player Niederhauser, I think that's, yeah, Niederhauser, even after he, I think, tore his ACL, this team is still getting it done somehow with no Bradley Beal. They traded James Harden. They traded Ivica Zubats. Bogdan Bogdanovic sucks and he's hurt. And then Niederhauser got hurt. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, guys, it is time we move on to our tier 3. Ladies and gentlemen, our tier 3 teams. We are entering playoff teams. All right? There might be some controversial picks here. And I want you guys to understand. It's no hard feelings, everybody. So basically, right now, this next team is going to be the worst team from the top 6 in the Western Conference. Okay? In my opinion, if it upsets you, cry me a river. This is just known facts. Ladies and gentlemen, my first team in tier 3 of this pyramid playoff picture is none other than the purple and gold Los Angeles Lakers. People are going to get upset about this. I know people are going to get upset about this, but as we all know, yep, I see the TikTok. He said, yeah, I'm smoking. Listen, they're the most mid team imaginable in the NBA, according to all the statistics. They're a bottom 10 defense in the NBA. They're bottom 15 in net rating. Again, I have to repeat myself. They are bottom 10 in defense. They are also bottom 15 in net rating. Their defense is horrible. Yes, they are trending up right now. Their defense is not. I'm being told, ha, you're just a hater, my guy. Okay, so being a hater means that I am not paying attention to the most obvious things imaginable. Okay, that's what that means. So by you telling me that, you're insinuating that I don't know basketball. Well, here's the thing. I know a lot about basketball. In fact, out of anybody in here right now, watching, listening, I'm confident enough to say I know the most basketball out of anybody in here right now. Do you know the last time a team with the 15th net rating made the finals? I do. It's never happened. I'm being told that the Lakers have won 6 straight against contenders. Are you guys ready? Thank you for that comment. The Pacers are not a contender. The Bulls are not a contender. Did they beat the Knicks? Yeah. Did they beat the Nuggets? Yeah, they're a contender. Did they beat the Rockets? They're not a contender. But nobody has the Rockets as a contender. So I'd like to point out one more time, ladies and gentlemen, no team has ever made the finals being the 15th net rated team. And if you guys are telling me they're going to climb up, well, guess what? Do you know how high you have to climb up to be the first team to ever make the finals with a low net rating? 9. The lowest net rating team to ever reach the NBA finals is 9. So if the Lakers can do that, that's breaking one record. Do you know what other record they'd have to break? No team has ever made the NBA finals being the 20th rated defense. Nobody. So people are telling me records are meant to be broken, and that's fine. But you're working against 2 records here. You're working against 2 different records. So Lakers fans, do not get upset with me for just going off of pure and utter statistical facts. If they make the finals, I'll eat my socks. I will go live. I will fry my socks on the pan, and I will eat my socks. I'm being told I'm a hater. This is not being a hater. I have no bad blood for the Lakers. I have no bad blood for any other team in the NBA. I don't hate any team in the NBA. Not one. Not a single one. So I'm looking at this objectively. And most of you guys are looking at this subjectively. You guys have opinions. You guys have favorite players. You guys have favorite teams. This team, this Lakers team, will not beat any of these teams in a 7-game series other than, well, let's just move on to my next team. The Houston Rockets. I believe the Houston Rockets are the only team that the Lakers have any chance at beating in a 5-game series. Why is that? The Rockets have a very, 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 very bad half-court offense. The Rockets don't have a playmaker. The Rockets don't have a consistent offensive engine other than Kevin Durant. Alperen Sengun has regressed, which is unbelievable. We all thought that Alperen Sengun would have that big leap this year, and he hasn't. If you are going to tell me that the Lakers can beat the Rockets in a 7-game series, I'd say, okay, I understand. That's fine. I get it. I think Luka could genuinely just go Super Saiyan and go crazy. But if you were to point to me on any other team on this category, the Lakers, the Lakers have no chance against them. The Lakers have absolutely no chance against them. Obviously, see, this is why I can't talk with the TikTok chat. If you guys want to come and talk with me, come through to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. Please come to the Twitch stream. This is why I can't talk with the TikTok. Somebody just said, you don't think they can beat the Suns? You are literally brain dead. I'm sorry. You are literally brain dead. I'm showing you my rankings in a pyramid right now. You, sir, are brain dead because they are right below them. So TikTok, if you guys want to come through to the Twitch, be sure. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. I'm not saying anything with any bias manner. I'm not a Rockets fan. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not a fan of any of these teams, right? I'm not. And I'm telling you right now, objectively, the Los Angeles Lakers are the best, worst team in the Western Conference. Top 6 teams, they are the worst of those top 6, but they are the best, worst team. Objectively, they've won 6 games in a row, and I applaud them for doing so. I don't want you guys to get misconstrued with Mickey Mouse March, though. Do not get fooled by Mickey Mouse March. Now, if people got upset about the Lakers being where they are in my ranking, and they got upset where the Rockets are in my ranking, well, I'm sorry to say, you guys are about to get very upset by my next one, but unfortunately, it has to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, the best team in Tier 3 is none other than the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's right. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team in Tier 3. The best team in Tier 3. The Minnesota Timberwolves have regressed. They have regressed. I think we can all watch this team and say they do not look as good as they did last year. They do not look as good as they did last year. I'm being told Lakers in 5 easily. That's weird. I could have swore the Timberwolves gentlemen swept the Lakers last year. It's weird. So I'd like to say big thank you to the homie JD. He said, we in the Twitch chat now, nothing but dummies in the TikTok chat. I appreciate you a lot, JD. Be sure to join the Discord as well, brother. ! Discord in the chat. Be sure to join the Discord. JD, thank you so much for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. Welcome to the better stream, the Twitch stream. TikTok, if you guys want to do the same thing that JD did, make sure you guys click the link in my bio and come through to the Twitch stream. Now, I got to just be honest with everybody. Julius Randle has been absolutely abysmal since the All-Star break. And I got to show y'all, because a lot of people will say I'm crazy, but I got to show y'all. Last 10 games. This is about how many games they've played since the All-Star break. Julius Randle over the last 10 games is averaging 15 points. 15 points. You're probably wondering, what percentage is he shooting? He's shooting 20% from 3 and 43% from the field. I got to repeat myself one more time. Julius Randle is shooting 20% from 3 and 43% from the field. That isn't bad. That is horrendous. Horrendous. So, Minnesota, to be honest, if you guys want to tell me the Lakers could beat them, I honestly won't get mad at you for saying that, because they're in the same tier for me. The Lakers are just worse than the Timberwolves, okay? I'm being told to look at Jaden McDaniels, and I haven't really paid attention to his last 10 games. All I know is he has not been playing well. Let me go ahead and look at Jaden McDaniels since the All-Star break. He is averaging 12 points per game. Let's look at his percentages together. 56% from the field, which is great, and 27% from 3. That's not good. That's actually a major fall off from what he's been averaging this year. So, all in all, I'd like to be honest with everybody. if you were to tell me the Lakers could beat the Timberwolves in a 7-game series, I won't get up here and start arguing with you. I won't, because I could see it happening. Now, I'll be honest. I was looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves and not really overreacting all season long, because last year, if you guys remember, in their last 20 games, they went 18-2. And I remember their 2 losses like it was yesterday. One was a crazy comeback from the Pacers, and I believe Obi Toppin hit like this fadeaway game-winning 3 from the corner. Those were their 2 losses. I think they were both against the Pacers last year. So I was expecting the Minnesota Timberwolves to sort of get hot at the end of the season, just like they did last year. That's not happening. They're regressing. And I don't like what I'm seeing. But the Minnesota Timberwolves, they've reached 2 conference finals in a row, and I think it might end there as well. I'm hoping for Ant's sake, if the Timberwolves want to keep him, then they better hope that they get moved to the Eastern Conference in 2 years when the two teams get added. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up our Tier 4 and our Tier 3. It's time to move on to Tier 2. Now, as you guys know, we only have 3 teams left, okay? Let's move on. This is going to sort of tell you, everybody, in what direction I went. The second I show you the first team of Tier 2, you will know the final 3 order. I would like to say one more time, TikTok, YouTube, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. It's a much better viewing experience over here, ladies and gentlemen. I talk to my Twitch stream all the time. They are my core audience. If you do enjoy the stream, and you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, my first team in Tier 3, meaning they are the worst team. Sorry, in Tier 2. They are the worst team in Tier 2, but the first team in Tier 2. And that is the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs are my 3rd team in the Western Conference. Now, don't throw your tomatoes at me yet. Don't throw them. Please don't throw them. Listen, the Spurs can win it all this year. They could. They could win it all this year. They have 50 wins. They could win it all. But for me, I view the playoffs as a whole different animal. Wemby is going to be getting manhandled. I want to see if he can handle that. Vassell, Champagnie, Keldon Johnson, they're going to crumble into the playoffs. They might have 1 or 2 good games, but you are going to see Devin Vassell and Julian Champagnie really struggle in away games in the playoffs. They're role players, and they're young role players. They need playoff experience. It's a whole different ball game, y'all. They need the experience. The only reason I have them at 3 is just because they don't have the experience. Wemby's going to get clobbered. The role players, and I don't need to, here's my thing. I'm telling you all of this, but if you guys watch basketball, and I mean actually watch basketball, you would agree. Role players in the playoffs always play worse. And you couple that with no playoff experience, you're asking for disaster. So I am going to say this one more time. The Spurs could literally win it all this year. They really could. And saying that is terrifying. But they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. Or not 10 years, but I think it's like 8 years. Barely anybody on this team has playoff experience. If you're talking about Harrison Barnes' playoff experience from 10 years ago, or you're talking about Luke Cornett's experience as the 3rd center off the bench in Boston, or you're talking about De'Aaron Fox's 1 series in Sacramento, I disagree with you. They're going to force Wembanyama to settle for 3s and mid-range shots. Shots that he's not that comfortable taking. So Spurs, be excited. Be happy. It's not this year. It probably isn't this year. But if it is this year, by God, we're in for it for the next 10 years. I'm just letting everybody know this. If they win this year, just be scared. Be scared. But in my heart of hearts, I do not see them winning it this year, and that is why I have them. Do you know how many times a team has went from never making the playoffs to winning the finals? Never. a team has never went from not making the playoffs to just winning the that has never happened. So yeah, not this year. And I hope you guys understand. Now we can move with some pace for the remaining two teams, because we all know who the remaining two teams are. I think you guys assume that you know the order as well. Pyro, I'd like to give Pyro a massive shout out. He said it's not this year, they're not ready. And I agree with you, Pyro. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch as well. Be sure to join the Discord. And remember, if you guys watch 3 streams in a row on Twitch, I will gift you a $5 subscription. And Quay, you're taking the words right out of my mouth. I've been preaching that all year. The best way to play Wemby is have a smaller power forward like an Aaron Gordon, like a Julius Randle, like an Isaiah Stewart, and don't move. Just be a brick wall in front of him. My next team, my final team in tier 2, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than the Denver Nuggets, which makes my number 1 team the Oklahoma City Thunder. This should not be a surprise to anybody watching. I think we all agree on this notion that this team is just, both these teams are ranked, I think, where I want them, exactly where I want them. Need I say much about either of these teams? The Denver Nuggets are great, but they've looked bad this year. I think they're ready for the playoffs to start. They need to get home court advantage. I don't think this team wants to lose home court advantage, but I also don't think that it means that much to them either. As long as they don't fall in the play-in, the Nuggets are fine, but they're only 2 games out of the play-in. If the Nuggets fall into the play-in, be worried. But for me, I'm honestly not that worried. I think they're going to start putting some wins together. I think they're going to start clicking now that they're getting their players back. And then, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're the best team in the NBA. I don't think I need to say much more. They have the MVP of the league. They're 53-15 right now. They're deep. They've had injuries. But what I will say, and I hope you guys are ready for what I'm about to say. If J-Dub doesn't return and he's not J-Dub, they're not winning. They're not winning. If J-Dub comes back, if he comes back and plays like how he was this year, they're not winning jack shit. They're not winning anything. J-Dub, in his games that he played this year, is averaging 17.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. And listen to these percentages. 47% from the field and 31% from 3. I got to repeat myself again. 47% from the field and 31% from 3. I don't want to see that comment again. They will win simply off of free throws. I don't like that. That's a horrible narrative that I will not agree with. So JD, relax, bro. What team are you a fan of? I gotta ask. Sorry, I'm getting a little off topic. Yeah, that's not good. If J-Dub plays like how he is this year, they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win. They're gonna need at least, I think, 75 to 80% of J-Dub to win. This is the same guy that dropped 40 points in the finals. They need J-Dub. If they do not have J-Dub, I'm not picking this team to run away with it. In fact, guys, I'm willing to say this is a second round exit if they're playing against Denver. This is a second round exit if they're playing against, Denver. I think Denver can genuinely beat them in the second round, like they might have last year had, injuries not happened. It would have happened. They need J-Dub. They need J-Dub because Chet is not going to be Chet in Madison Square Garden like he was a couple weeks ago. They need J-Dub. And I know Denver doesn't have any interior defense, but they've always thrived off of their perimeter defense. So if they can just get their guys healthy and rolling, I genuinely believe that the Spurs, the Nuggets will beat this team if they don't have J-Dub up there. I got to be honest. And if you guys disagree, that's okay. But I know this team very, very well. And if it's just Shea, remember, role players play worse in the playoffs. Just remember that. They're going to need J-Dub back. Now, I would like to say before I end today's episode, a man named JD came from the TikTok, and I thought he was cool at first until he came in and said, the Thunder will win simply off of free throws, unfortunately. So when I asked him what team you support, he's a Lakers fan. And he said, that man is flopping everywhere. You can't tell me SGA doesn't draw fouls like James Harden back in the day. I got to be honest, JD, you are disqualified from ever talking about free throws ever again. You are disqualified. You're not allowed to talk about free throws. You are a Luka fan. You are not allowed to talk about free throws. You're not allowed to complain about flopping. You're not allowed to argue about anything in relation to free throws, crying, foul baiting, complaining, nothing. If you support the Los Angeles Lakers, you are not allowed to do that. because I think we all know there's nobody worse than Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic as far as exaggerating content, screaming to the refs, and all of that. Now, I forgot to do stud of the night today. I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. I forgot to do stud of the night, so I don't have a lower third for it. But I think overall, last night, watching all of these games, I think it's pretty obvious who I got to give stud of the night to, and that's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, dropping 41 points on the Orlando Magic, keeping the streak alive at 10 games in a row. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, my stud of the night, because in 37 minutes, he had 41 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, 5 assists, 2 steals, plus 27 team high on the court. 12 for 21 from the field and 9 for 14 from 3, while also going 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, it's crazy. I love this guy. I love this guy. My stud of the night, incredible game. I love Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I wish he was on my team. I wish they targeted him more. Yeah, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, man, incredible. I've loved watching him all year long. He has looked great. He has looked strong. He has looked confident. I love watching Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys are excited for today's NBA games. I don't know really who's playing tonight, but I hope you guys are excited for the slate of games. Surely we got some good ones. We got the Miami Heat against Charlotte. That's a big game. We got the Pistons visiting Washington. We got the Thunder against the Orlando Magic on a back-to-back. Yikes. We got the Pacers versus Indy again. We got the Pacers versus Knicks again. They just played them. Knicks have a very easy stretch of schedule right now as well. Phoenix versus Minnesota on the second night of a back-to-back. Cleveland versus the Bucks. 76ers versus the Nuggets. And then we got the Kings and Spurs on the second night of a back-to-back. Yuck. Imagine staying up for that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we already did the Eastern Conference ranking in yesterday's episode. So if you guys missed that, be sure to go check out the Spotify Exclamation Point podcast in the Twitch chat. The Spotify, Apple Podcast, or the Exclamation Point podcast YouTube channel, Jay-Z Courtside. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to drop a like, follow, subscribe, do all that jazz. And if you're in the Twitch stream, be sure to stick around because we are not done yet. We are staying around the Twitch, so do not leave the stream. TikTok, if you guys did enjoy the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. We are still live on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. You guys heard me. Come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got nothing left to say except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching/listening, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. See you, everybody.